Hello, hello, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Your Health is Your Greatest Wealth, Stroke Awareness Edition. Good evening, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Um, Welcome. I would like to ask that you tag someone, that you share this video. Excuse me. I hope that it blesses someone. I hope that it helps someone. If one person gets some information that makes a difference in his or her health, or a friend or family member, then it will be worth it to me. Okay. So the focus on this last day of the month, so I had to get it in, focus of this month's health and wellness is high blood pressure and strokes. And they're so common. They're so common nowadays. And so I'm going to share some statistics and some practical strategies. So I'll just ask that you share, that you tag a friend, that you share this video. And hello. Hi, Clara. Hi, Antoinette. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, everyone. Welcome. Share this video. I want for as many people as possible to benefit from this information, because when we still have people dying, when we're still spending billions, it might seem like a played out topic, but apparently it is not. People are still struggling with these illnesses. People are still dying from them. Some families are suffering. People are suffering disability. And you know what? My research focuses on secondary prevention, but I always wished that I had focused on primary prevention. And I'll talk about that in a second, but by the time I realized that I should have focused on primary prevention, I was too far down the road to turn back. I felt like I was too far down the road to turn back, but I always have always been interested in health promotion. And once I started researching with the cardiac patient population, I realized that primary prevention was what we needed, especially for minorities. And that secondary prevention, really, it was too late by the time they were affected. So everybody, primary prevention is preventing the illness from happening in the first place. So we prevent the stroke. Let's not even go there. Secondary prevention is when you have the stroke and you are trying to limit disability, trying to improve function, trying to make sure that the patient gets rehab. So secondary prevention is, it's already happened. Let's minimize the effects of the illness. Let's rehabilitate the patient, the person. Let's get the person stabilized on medication and treatment. And let's enhance quality of life as much as we can. Let's prolong life as much as we can. So that's secondary prevention. And then tertiary prevention is the third level. And that's just basically making the person as comfortable as possible, making the person's quality of life as best as possible. That's kind of like, when the disease has progressed further along. So I want to focus on primary prevention, and then I want to focus a little bit on secondary prevention, okay? So I do want to ask you to like this video, tag somebody who needs this information, share the video. I will be posting some information in the chat window over time so that you are able to look at this information for yourself. And when you share the video with others, they'll get the information as well. All right. So share. Drop questions in the comments if you have questions. If you have people with high blood pressure in your family, I do want you to put a little red heart in the comments. If you have someone in your family who has had a stroke, I want you to put a 1 in the comments, okay? This is so popular. About 8 out of every 10 people who have their first stroke, it's because they're living with high blood pressure, okay? So let's start off talking about high blood pressure. High blood pressure is the pressure within your blood vessels. So, in the winter, welcome everybody, welcome. In the winter, we release the pressure in our pipes. And so if we have pressure inside of our blood vessels, so the vessels where the blood is flowing throughout our whole body and the pressure is too much, guess what happens? Problems, right? The pipe stretches, right? So the blood vessel stretches too much. It can burst if the pressure, like they tell you about the pressure in your pipes when it's winter time. And so we take blood pressure for granted, but blood pressure is a very serious thing when you really think about that your blood pressure is measuring the pressure within your blood vessels. And you have veins and arteries throughout your whole body that pump the blood through and through your body. So when you think about having too much pressure in those blood vessels, that is a major problem. So in our society, because blood pressure is so common, a lot of us don't take it seriously. And so tonight, I want to share some information about blood pressure and then also share some information about stroke, because those two are foci for this particular month. And high blood pressure often leads to stroke. Okay, high blood pressure often leads to people having a stroke. So more than 360,000 people, and this is an old statistic. This is from 2013. So it's a 5-year-old statistic from the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. But that many people who died had high blood pressure as a leading cause of their death, or the cause or a contributing cause of death. Okay, so 360,000 people dying because of high blood pressure. All right, 1,000 people die per day because of high blood pressure, or high blood pressure was a contributing factor. So as a result of high blood pressure, 1,000 people per day in America, in the US, 1,000 people per day. High blood pressure. We take it lightly. We think that, it's been in my family for generations. I'll just take my pill. I'm not going to worry about it. And I'll get to that in a second, but we should be worried about it. We should be very much concerned about high blood pressure, okay? So your blood pressure should be, the top number, the bottom number, systolic, diastolic. Blood pressure should be less than 120 at the top number, and the bottom number should be less than 80. Now, everybody has a personal best, okay? Everybody has what is normal for you. Some people have very low blood pressure, and being too low is a big problem as well. Some people have their norm is very low. My norm is pretty low. I'm grateful for it. Not low, but I'm like a 90/50 person. I'm grateful for it, and want to keep it that way. But some people, they know that they run athletes. Younger people tend to run lower blood pressures, and so you have to know what the norm is for you. But in general, the American Heart Association recommends that we take a very conservative approach when we consider blood pressure, because people are trending up. They're not monitoring those trends, and eventually it leads to other things. And so we'll talk about a few other things in a minute. A couple more statistics. About 32%, so almost 1/3 of our population in the U.S. has high blood pressure. Okay, has hypertension. 1 in every 3 adults in America is hypertensive. Let that sink in. And we said 1,000 deaths per day because of hypertension. That's pretty serious. Kidney disease is a major risk factor for high blood pressure. About 7 out of every 10 people with heart failure have high blood pressure. So that is the leading cause of heart failure. About 70% of patients with heart failure. And I specialize in heart failure research. And so that's one of the reasons why this topic is so near and dear to my heart. All right. So heart attacks, strokes, heart failure, kidney disease. Excuse me. Kidney disease. And now the money. About $48.6 billion are spent every year to treat high blood pressure, that's treatment medications, and missed days from work. $48.6 billion. Now, we complain about taxes, we complain about the economy, we complain about gas, we complain about a lot of things. But the general society, we should be focused on healthcare as well. The cost of healthcare, what we're spending on healthcare as a society, and how healthy we are, because we are spending the most, but when compared to other countries, but we are less healthy. So go figure, right? All right, so that's high blood pressure, and I will post a whole bunch of resources that you can take a look at in regards to high blood pressure. I usually use CDC data and information and the American Heart Association, or in this case, American Stroke Association. But you want to keep your blood pressure within normal range. And how do you, that's 120/80, less than that. Now, that's primary prevention. Decrease your sodium intake. There are many hidden sources of sodium: canned foods, processed foods, luncheon meats. Just because it's not salty doesn't mean that it's not packed with sodium. Those TV dinners, the processed foods, they are extremely, extremely high in sodium. So you want to be paying attention to that. Patients with cardiovascular disease are told to be on a 2-gram sodium diet, 2,000 milligrams. And, even as a preventative measure, we should consider being on that same type of restriction. That way you are being proactive, you're preventing. I interviewed 10 patients who have heart failure a few years ago, 10 Black patients with heart failure. And I talked with them about several things, but every one of them mentioned food as a major issue with caring for themselves while they had heart failure. And specifically, they mentioned salt, seasoning, the flavoring of the food, because now they don't even enjoy their food. Many of them don't even want to eat if they're trying to be compliant, and their family members are on top of them to try to get them to be compliant. And so, it's really, really challenging for them. All right, so I will post, just so I can move along. I don't want this to be too long. I will post some more resources for you. But I will go on to talk about a stroke. Now, and I'll post some data and statistics on strokes as well. But a stroke is a brain attack. In the last few days, I've been posting about strokes. Stroke is the 4th leading cause of death in the United States, and is the leading cause of disability as well. And so stroke is either caused by a blood clot or a blood vessel blocking blood flow to a part of your brain, or it can be caused by a blood vessel bursting in the brain, and so you end up with bleeding or obstruction. And so your brain needs blood with oxygen in the blood to be able to function. And our brain controls the rest of our body, our vision, our movement, our speech, our ability to eat and swallow, even our ability to breathe. Okay, so when you have an issue with your brain due to a stroke, it can affect anywhere throughout your body. A lot of people tend to have a left-sided stroke or a right-sided stroke. And so depending on the side of the brain that's affected, that will determine the effects that it has on the person's body, your swallowing, your speech, and so on and so forth. And some people can recover some function after having a stroke. Some people don't recover function, okay, after having a stroke. And so we want to prevent strokes as much as possible. How do you do that? Control your blood pressure. Elevated cholesterol is another, sorry, my phone is going off here. Elevated cholesterol is another reason why someone might have a stroke. Diabetes, as well as sickle cell anemia. And so these conditions can cause a person to have a stroke, but very often strokes are caused, also heart disease. Strokes are caused by uncontrolled blood pressure. And with blood pressure, of course, there are things that we can control and things that we cannot control. Our modifiable risk factors and our non-modifiable risk factors. What we can modify, we want to modify. And what we can modify is our diet, our activity level, right? We can determine if we smoke, if we drink. We can't choose the race that we are. We can't choose the gender that we are. We didn't choose our age. We didn't choose our family. So heredity is against some of us, our family history. We have some of these things in our family. We can't control those things, but we want to control the things that we can control, the things that are within our power to control. And for those of you who have been friends with me on Facebook for a while, you know that I promote some very practical strategies. The federal government spends millions and billions of dollars giving researchers money to study behavior change. Behavior change is not easy. It's very, very challenging. And for the most part, we haven't figured it out yet. And we haven't figured out how to sustain behavior change and what works in different groups of people. So when I speak about practical strategies, it's because I understand that it is extremely hard to change behavior. And it's easier said than done. So I don't focus on perfection. I don't focus on the lofty goals. I don't focus on, if you eat a piece of cake or a chip, you are doomed forever. No, I focus on very practical strategies so that more people are able to do it and more people feel empowered to do it, because I found that a lot of times people quit before they get started because they're like, I can't live up to that. I can't do that. You don't want to be defeated before you get started. So your modifiable risk factors, your diet, your exercise, your smoking, your alcohol intake, you want to control that. Okay, you want to modify your modifiable factors, understanding that you can't do anything about your non-modifiable risk factors. Okay, welcome to everybody who just joined. You are putting a red heart if you have high blood pressure in your family. You're putting a 1 if you know somebody who has had a stroke in your family. Okay, just to share awareness, it's the 4th leading cause of death. I bet everybody that I know has somebody in their family who has had a stroke, right? And who has high blood pressure. It's all around us. All right, so strokes, we want to prevent them, okay? Now, if you see signs and symptoms of a stroke, and I will post a couple links in a bit. If you see signs and symptoms of a stroke, a facial droop, you might see the person might have vision problems, person might have trouble speaking, a severe headache, you want to call 911 right away. So we're into secondary prevention now. It has already happened, but we want to limit the effects of it. We want to limit the disability from the stroke, okay? So we want to get this person treatment as soon as possible. And you don't want to drive the person, because the EMTs can initiate some treatment in the ambulance, and time is everything when it comes to a stroke. So you want to get that person treated as soon as possible. You want to take note of the time that the symptoms started, because that's one of the most important factors that will determine how they will treat that person who has had a stroke, okay? All right, so act fast, and I'll put that acronym in the comments. If you notice someone having those sudden symptoms, facial droop, double vision or problems with their vision, trouble speaking, trouble with movement, sometimes one side gets paralyzed where they can't really move it, or they have weakness on one side, you want to go ahead and get that person call 911 to get that person treated as soon as possible. All right, so we've talked about high blood pressure. We've talked about modifiable and non-modifiable risk factors. We've talked about, 1/3 of all Americans having high blood pressure, right? 1/3. We have talked about Stroke being the fourth leading cause of death in the US, okay, and the leading cause of disability. We want to focus on improving our health. We want to focus on maintaining our health. We are a society that does a lot of backtracking. We do a whole lot of trying to undo versus being proactive with maintaining our health and improving our health. So, definitely check the comments for some more resources. Younger and younger people, especially men, are having hypertension, high blood pressure, and they are also suffering strokes, and they're also ending up with heart failure. Now, if you look up heart failure means your heart is not pumping effectively, and it causes so many issues throughout the rest of the body. Most people with heart failure do not work. They end up on disability, so there are financial implications. Most people with heart failure, they have other challenges. I mean, it completely changes their life. Again, that is my specialty. That's my research area. And the thing about it is, I mentioned that the patients that I interviewed with heart failure, they didn't even want to eat. So if you're a foodie, right, you want to go ahead and watch your salt intake before it gets to the point where you basically can't have any. So for me, I feel like I'd rather have some, be able to enjoy some stuff. I'm a salty snacker. I like chips more than I like sweets. And so I feel like I'd rather be able to have some versus not being able to have any at all. So if we manage ourselves now before we're affected by high blood pressure, before we're affected by stroke, we can preserve our health and make it so that we can always enjoy our special occasions. And, I posted on Monday, I was eating barbecue food. I had a hot dog, processed meat, very high in sodium, hot dogs are. I had a turkey burger. Often they are high in sodium, but that's not my lifestyle. I'm not eating that every day. And that's when I talk about the practical strategies. Those are some of the things that you can do. Make your lifestyle day in, day out healthy, and then let your special occasions, your parties, your celebrations, your holidays be enjoyable, and enjoy the food you will enjoy, and then you go back to your healthy lifestyle. Incorporate physical activity. If you want an excuse, you will find an excuse. Trust me, my schedule gives me every excuse known to man. However, I have made my health and wellness a non-negotiable priority, and so I have to get my exercise in, okay, by any means necessary. I've had to change up when I do it sometimes and how I do it, and I like to be outdoors when it's warm, but by any means necessary. If you have children, take your children to the park, walk around, run around, put them in a stroller, take a walk in the park, use YouTube, get some physical activity in. Accept no excuses from yourself. 30 minutes per day makes a huge difference, and at least getting in 50 minutes 3 times a week. Start with 30 minutes 3 times a week. Anything is better than nothing, okay? Now, the last thing I want to share, and again, I don't want to make this too long, so I will post some links in the comments so that you can review and that you can share with your family members and your friends. We're talking about 1/3 of our U.S. population has high blood pressure. Are you hearing me? 1/3 of our U.S. population. 4th leading cause of death is stroke. 1,000 people each day die of high blood pressure. It's serious. We have to share this information. Now, some of you know that I am a business owner. I market health and wellness products. And tonight I want to share 6 of them with you, okay? Just 6 of them that are tailored to high blood pressure and overall health maintenance. We talked about stroke. High blood pressure is the leading cause of stroke. Okay, so I'd like to share just a few products with you before I end this live, because I use these products myself. And for those of you who are aware, I've been able to lose over 60 pounds, and blood pressure was not my issue, not my challenge, although both of my parents had and have it, okay? Diabetes was my issue because they both also had and have it. Okay. And so blood pressure was not my thing, but I have been able to reverse my pre-diabetes based on improving my lifestyle, the weight loss, and maintaining the weight and improving my overall health and wellness. So improving my eating, my portion control, eating healthier, fewer carbs, losing weight. So I've been able to improve my health. And so I want to share those with you. And I will say, we make no medical claims. I am a registered nurse, and I am a cardiac nurse, and I'm a nurse educator, and a few other things, right? We make no medical claims. And I do want to say, before I share these products, if you are prescribed medications for, I almost forgot something. If you are prescribed medications for your blood pressure control, take your medications. Take them. Take them. I want you to take them, okay? So I am not suggesting that you not take your medications. I will also say that most Blacks, many medications don't work in the same way that it does in other races. So if you are prescribed a blood pressure medication that is not working for you, either you don't like the side effects, or it's not, it's affecting your sexual function, especially for men, do not just stop taking the medication. You are putting yourself at risk for a stroke, at risk for kidney disease, ending up on dialysis, at risk for heart failure. Go back to that provider. There are other medications. There are different combinations of medications that work better in certain people. And I'll put a couple of minority articles or resources in the comments as well. But there are other medications that you can use that might work better for you. Okay? So, do not stop taking your medications. Take your medications. However, I often hear people, I'll take my medication and I eat whatever and I do whatever. People with high blood pressure on medications, they still go on to develop kidney disease. They still go on to have strokes. They still go on to have heart failure. So take your medications while you also work on improving your health, okay? Getting some exercise in, dropping some weight, okay? Eating better. And so I am going to share just a few products with you, and then I am going to end this live. Feel free to drop your comments later, and definitely check out the comments because I'll be posting some great resources there. So I want to introduce you, making no medical claims throughout this video, okay? But I want to introduce you to my lifeline, my IASO Detox Tea. This is an all-natural organic detox tea. It cleanses your entire body at the cellular level. It is all natural organic, like I said, and it just has 9 powerful herbs in the tea. And so it also wastes sodium, which is really important when you're thinking about blood pressure control. It also kind of acts like a diuretic, so it pulls fluid off your body. And we've seen many people who had swelling of different areas of their body after detoxing that is improved. So, but no matter if you have high blood pressure or not, no matter if you're overweight or not, everybody should be detoxing on some type of regular schedule. And sometimes our electrolytes, our minerals and vitamins and minerals in our bodies can be a little bit off. And so we tend to retain fluid. Even women at certain times of the month retain fluid. And so a detox is great because it'll pull off extra fluid off of you. A lot of times my customers say, I'm just constantly urinating and urinating and urinating. I'm like, good, yay, because you're detoxing in your urine, your stool, as well as your sweat, okay? This one package makes a gallon, and you drink this all week long, 2 8-ounce cups per day, and it will detox your entire body. Like I said, pulling off extra fluid, potentially pulling off sodium. It wastes sugar as well. Now, this has to be steeped. This has to be steeped, and like I said, it makes a gallon, 4 to 8 hours. We live in a microwave society. People want it right now, where it's great for travelers. People are on the go. This is our instant tea. You just suck a sachet, shake it up, put it in a bottle of water, shake it up, and you have your detox on the go. Some of my customers prefer this because they don't want to wait, or they don't, want to manage that gallon bottle. Now, the second product I'll share with you is our NutriBurst, which is a liquid multivitamin. When you detox, you need to be sure to replenish. Your body doesn't know what to keep and what to waste, and so it'll waste everything, and you need to replenish. Out with the good, out with the bad, back in with the good. And this NutriBurst is packed with amino acids, vitamins, minerals, whole food greens. I mean, just awesome vitamin. Causes nail growth. I have my own natural nails for the first time in my life. Hair growth. The amino acids help to break down fat. Just an awesome product. Gives you great energy as well. And it's much better than a pill vitamin because it's 98% absorbed into the bloodstream. Whereas a pill vitamin, you're getting like 20 to 40% absorbed. Now, chaga is the third product I'll share with you. And the tea, the NutriBurst, and the chaga, that makes up our health kit. And that is for anybody who just wants to promote overall health and wellness, okay? So you don't have to be overweight, you don't have to be ill, just promoting health. Once again, we spend money on healthcare in the US, but we are in worse health and we spend more money than other countries. And we're in the business of restoring health and improving health, instead of focusing on maintaining health. So I want to challenge and encourage you to focus on maintaining your health. I take this chaga every day because it's just a Siberian mushroom. It is an antioxidant. It is just balances your overall body, and you can Google it. It's great for so many things. It's antiviral, antifungal, it's anti-cancer. I mean, the testimonies from chaga. Post your testimony, Tanika. Thank you. There's my business partner. Hey, lady boss. Post your testimony, please. And anybody else who has a testimony with any of these products, please do post it. Again, making no medical claims, but real people share their real testimonies. And we're able to share those real testimonies. And so this chaga is just a mushroom. It's in capsule format, so you can open it up and pour it into water or into a smoothie. But I take it myself every day. And my testimony is that as a result of using these products, the weight loss, the lifestyle changes that came as a result of me using these products, and what I believe to be this product here, as well as the health kit, basically helped me to reverse the pre-diabetic track that I was on, because I was a gestational diabetic, and my hemoglobin A1C, that long-term blood sugar control, did not return over a 3-month period, did not return to normal after I had my son. And so I was at risk for being a type 2 diabetic, and both my mom and my dad have diabetes. And so I am too young for that, and I was really, even a couple of years after my son was born, I still was not back to normal, and I was gaining weight and just heavy and extra, and it was just not good. And so I'm so grateful for these products. This is also a mushroom, Ganoderma, Ganoderma. Somebody type it, chaga and Gano into the comments for me, please. But Ganoderma, Ganoderma, is also a mushroom. We have had powerful testimonies about this Gano, also from people with high blood pressure. And I mean, the testimonies with chaga and Gano include people with sickle cell, high blood pressure, elevated cholesterol, diabetes, lupus, and so on and so forth. Just really great all natural products, mushrooms, that have been used over the years in other cultures to promote and maintain health. But we use pharmaceuticals to restore health. So we need to kind of turn that around. All right, the last two products, we have many products, you all. If you need to enhance your activity level, if you need, yes, ma'am, I got something for you, Summer. I'm not sharing all products. I was just about to say, if you need to increase your activity level. If you have trouble with energy for exercise, we have a couple of products that can help you. NRG, natural raw energy, but we don't recommend it for people with high blood pressure. So I did not plan on sharing that tonight, but definitely message me if you are interested in an energy supplement. I take it myself every day, 12 plus hours of energy, amazing product. We also have Life Drops, which are B vitamins, which are very helpful for energy and boosting your metabolism. We have Slim AM, which is great if you're working out. It's pre-workout formula, helps with muscle recovery. Also has L-arginine, which is great for cardiovascular health, and it also gives great energy. So definitely message me with any questions, or post your questions in the comments. I do want to share, a lot of men, on a serious note, a lot of men, especially Black men, that are being affected by high blood pressure, younger and younger nowadays, they stop taking their medications because of the side effects, okay? And so men, I want you to get right here. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you have trouble, put your pride aside. If you have trouble with the medication, tell your provider. They can order something else for you. They can prescribe something else for you. They can work with you to get the right formula to get your blood pressure under control. Because you see, a lot of us Blacks don't participate in clinical trials. We don't participate in the research. So when they come out with medications, a lot of times we are underrepresented in those studies, and so they don't know if it'll work the same way in us. And they found that oftentimes the medications don't work the same way. We need a different dosage. We need a different combination. Some just don't work. So just give your provider the opportunity to work with you to get your blood pressure under control, and then you work on your lifestyle changes as well, losing the weight, because long term those medications are still going to affect your sexual function. So if you're in your 30s or your 40s and you want to keep going, you need to take care of yourself. You need to go ahead and lose some weight. You need to improve your energy and your vitality, okay? But don't stop taking your medications. Please do me the favor and don't stop taking your medications. And please do me the favor and work on your lifestyle changes, okay? I lost a 46-year-old friend this year, and it's my good friend. I just had a Facebook memory come up, and he had liked something that I posted, and I think about him pretty much every day, because I just didn't know about his health status, and I know that he didn't expect to die either. 46 years old, that's young now that I'm getting close. When I was younger, those ages seemed old, but I am, now that I'm young, getting older, I'm like, no, that ain't old, that's young. But anyway, we take our health for granted, and a lot of times we assume that our health will be maintained even if we don't make efforts to maintain it. So anyway, for men, I want to offer, y'all don't joke me, for my business partners, yes, I still have these. But this is Strike. This is all natural male sexual performance enhancement. And yes, I took my tone down a little bit. Now, this is an herbal blend, no secondary side effects. It helps men to perform sexually, okay? It's for the needy and for the greedy, all right? So even if you don't have problems, you can still use it, spice things up a little bit. But for those who have problems, on a serious note, who have some challenges, some side effects of medications or of the illness, having diabetes, having high blood pressure, please take care of yourself. Please take your medications and reach out to me or whoever invited you to watch this video and get some sexual performance enhancement that is all natural with no secondary side effects, okay? It's just herbs in it. Instead of the blue pill, we got the green pill, right? And this Strike is great for prostate health. It just increases the desire, the potency, helps men who have erectile dysfunction or problems with pre-ejaculation. And like I said, those who have problems as well as those who want to enhance. Now, Love is for the ladies. It's a pink pack, also an herbal blend, helps improve the, y'all don't be sharing this with the kids. I don't accept kids on my channel. I always have to put that disclaimer out there because I'll talk about it. Because I don't accept kids on my timeline, on my page. But helps with moisturization, helps balance the pH, and it helps the sparks flow, increases the desire, helps the sparks flow. And I share the love with you because my understanding is that if he has this, then she needs this to be able to keep up. All right. So I'll leave it at that. But on a serious note, my brothers, black men, we are in a crisis in regards to high blood pressure, leading to stroke, leading to heart failure, leading to kidney disease. Take your medications, okay? Take them. But work on your health and wellness. Lose some weight. Work on it. Commit to it. Your family needs you. We want you to stay around. We need you. And we want you to work on it. Rome wasn't built in a day, so we're not looking for perfection. We're not looking for it immediately, but work on it day in, day out. Be committed to your personal health and wellness. We commit to jobs. We commit to education. We commit to other people. We commit to everything. And some of these things are great. Church, we commit to our kids, grandkids. Great. But what about your commitment to self? You can't be anything to any of those people if you have a stroke and you're laying in the bed paralyzed, okay? So let's be proactive about our health and wellness. Let me stop talking. I always start preaching. Your health is your greatest wealth. We put a lot of things ahead of our health and wellness in terms of priorities. But truly, we cannot accomplish a single other goal if we don't have our personal health and wellness, all right? So I want you to believe that your health is your greatest wealth. Act like you know it. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. To get these products that I mentioned, as well as if you have any other health and wellness needs, reach out to the person who invited you to watch this video or who shared it on their page. If they are a distributor of these products with Total Life Changes, and if you're watching this on my page, reach out to me. I am happy to help you do a consultation and select the products that can help you improve your overall health and wellness. I am passionate about this, and I am especially passionate about our people and passionate about minority health, because it's time that we make our health our greatest wealth and make it a priority. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Have a great night. Be sure to tag a few people in this video that need to take a look at it, share it. And thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good night. Until next month for the next edition of Your Health is Your Greatest Wealth. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Love you.